What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Cop Ultras, the podcast show. So, Sobo shines, Darwin dazzles as Liverpool claim a victory, a 3-0 victory against Aston Villa at Anfield. So, we're going into the international break with great shape, with a great performance in mind. We have produced one of our most productive and most complete performance ever in Anfield, which has been quite some time that we have been waiting for this kind of a performance from Liverpool. And it was a convincing win as well for us. Yes, we did have some changes which happened in the team. I will come to that talking point later. Some of the talking points I'll be covering is Darwin Núñez's performance against Aston Villa, Szoboszlai, his man of the match performance against Aston Villa as well. And I'll be talking about the outstanding defense at the moment, our centre-back pairings, Joe Gomez and Joel Matip, and as well as a surprise addition to the squad whereby Curtis Jones comes in for Wataru Endo instead to complete the midfield three of McAllister, Szoboszlai and himself. So with that being said, I will go into the talking points. The first talking point I would like to talk about is the first thing would be the changes that happened in the middle. So apparently in our first team sheet we had a surprising addition, which is Curtis Jones, who is back into the starting lineup. A little bit of a surprise looking at the fact that we do have a player in the caliber of Wataru Endo. But looking at the whole 90 minutes of the match, I think Curtis Jones did really well. But there were a few hiccups in his game that whereby maybe it's due to the injury, maybe due to the injury layoff that he had for some time. He's still trying to get the hang of the game, trying to get a hang of his position, being in the midfield three and also being in the left side of midfield, trying to accompany Luis Diaz in terms of attack. But nothing to deny with his work rate, even though technically it's a little bit, there's a little bit of a hit and miss in terms of his passing, in terms of his movement. But overall, his work rate throughout the game, up until the point that he was substituted, it was really good. I don't want to put too much of fault onto him as well because he's just returning back from injury. But he did make a few good interceptions. He did make some good passing movements with Luis Diaz. He made sure that Luis Diaz was open in some of the channels where if Curtis Jones was to play on the left wing, then you would see Luis Diaz cutting into the channel whereby he'll be playing a bit more centrally and against 1v1 against the Aston Villa defense. So those are the kind of positives I would take away from Curtis Jones's performance today. And then the next talking point I would talk about is Darwin the Dazzler. So last week he did score two vital goals, two important goals to give us the 3 points against Newcastle. I think against Aston Villa he was very well. He played very well. He performed really well. Yes, I do feel bad for him that he wasn't able to score a goal or two. He did have an opportunity where it hit the post, but apparently it went in through a Matty Cash on goal. There were a few certain instances where you would have expected, like he did get certain passes, long passes in from Trent, was able to sense Darwin Núñez's run and Salah's run that it so happened that he wasn't able to finish it properly in the final. That was the only thing. But other than that, Darwin Núñez for the whole 60, 70 odd minutes, he really played well. Nothing to be worried about. But then his whole work rate, in terms of him being that particular number 9 role, being the pure striker, I think he showed his attributes really well. A couple of good 1v1 displays. He had a good understanding as to with the positioning of Salah. I think the combination and the chemistry between the two of them is really good, and hopefully it can develop into a better pairing, a better chemistry between them. We saw that a few instances last season where Darwin Núñez and Salah had a really good understanding and chemistry between them. So to bring it forward to this season, I think is really fun to watch, something which is very, very interesting, and hopefully this performance against Aston Villa, yes, barring the goals, he did not score them, but hopefully he can retain his place come the next matchup. I think it's most probably against Spurs. So hopefully we can see more performances like this from Darwin Núñez. So coming back to another talking point I would like to talk about is about Szoboszlai, the magnificent Dominic Szoboszlai, the Hungarian. So what a belter, what a sublime rocket he scored in the first half. Trent got in the corner and then he just whipped it in his left foot, and what a strike it was a fantastic goal. His performance in the whole match, it was fantastic. It was something that you would expect from a number 8 who has the caliber, with the caliber of Dominic Szoboszlai. You would expect him to perform at the highest level, and yes, in this game he did perform at his highest level. Could have gotten a goal or two, could have gotten a shot or two at certain instances in the match, but his first goal is the first of many. I'm expecting him to maintain this level of performance, because he did that at the start of the season. Against Chelsea, it was okay. It was not yet to 100%, but against Aston Villa today, and against Newcastle as well, he played the full 90, and here I think he did play the full 90. So it was a full and full complete performance, especially from a number 8. And to be really honest, I don't want to take away anything from our previous number 8, Naby Keita, but sorry, Naby Keita, we have found a fantastic replacement, for you. What a signing Dominic Szoboszlai is, and I'm hoping, definitely hoping that we can see more performances like this, because not only attacking-wise, Szoboszlai was very, very involved. Defensively, he was definitely making all the runs, trying to track back the defense, trying to help in every way possible in order to stop Aston Villa from attacking, and that is what you would expect from a player like Dominic Szoboszlai. So yes, we would definitely want him to be at the attacking end throughout the whole 90 minutes, but for a midfielder, you need to play attack and defense as well. You need to support the team as much as possible, and that was what I would say I could see from Szoboszlai. So it was really a good example of how a number 8 should be, and credit to him, he did really, really well. So the next thing I would like to talk about is, like I said, the centre-back pairing, and I would like to additionally say about Trent Alexander-Arnold as well. Trent really did well for him standing in as the captain, since with the absence of Virgil van Dijk being suspended for the Premier League match against Aston Villa. He really did well. I think on certain instances that defensively, when Aston Villa were trying to attack, I think Trent did well at certain occasions where he would defend. So in this game, I would see Trent being not only the focal point, being as the inverted right back, being the focal point of trying to stray passes out wide. I did not only see that, but I would see him being more involved defensively, because we know that we have a really good front three. Our midfield three is good as well. So I think it's a little bit of a weight lifted off of Trent's shoulders, knowing that defensively he can help out. Even though he was inverted, he would definitely drop back. We could see at those points in time where Aston Villa were attacking in the first half, you could see that defensively he was trying to do his level best. And I think he hardly put a foot wrong, and he really did well itself. So with that being said about Trent, then I would jump in now to Joel Matip and Joe Gomez as well. So both of them did really well. They never really put a foot wrong. They managed to get a clean sheet. There were a few misplaced passes here and there, where there was a moment where I think it was Ollie Watkins or Leon Bailey. They would try to run in behind Joe Gomez. He would get a touch of the ball, and then he would, miscontrol the ball, and then Leon Bailey would try to attack our end. But yes, like I said, collectively our midfield was really good. McAllister was really good defensively. Szoboszlai was really good. Curtis Jones tried to track back as much as possible. Even Luis Diaz as well. So it's really good to see that the team is coming together and trying to defend as a team rather than being defending players individually. So you could see the counter pressing was there, the pressure was there whenever Aston Villa had the ball. So these are the kind of things you would say. And for Joel Matip and Joe Gomez, I would equally say that they did their jobs pretty well. Yes, Matip had a messed up pass that he made towards Alisson, but then it didn't go to Alisson. It was bound for the corner, but then it's okay. It's all right. Mistakes happen. If you look at a full 90 minutes and then getting a clean sheet, I would excuse Matip of that. I would excuse Matip of that, but you would not want it to happen constantly in every other game. But in this game, they did really well because it's a tricky Aston Villa side. Yes, they did not have Tyrone Mings. They did have Ollie Watkins in the team. Leon Bailey only came in the first half after Diego Carlos got injured, so he got subbed on. So Unai Emery wanted to bring more pace to the attack rather than bringing a like-for-like substitution. So in that sense, I saw Joe and Joel do good. They did well. So you need to give credit to them where credit is due. So a clean sheet for them, a clean sheet for Alisson as well. He did make a point-blank save. I have to, I said in my previous episodes, Alisson is really good. What a fantastic keeper he is. And he did make a point-blank save when Ollie Watkins had a direct header against, I think it was not Ollie Watkins, it was, I think, Josh McGinn. I think it was McGinn who had the header. So a really, really good, a very solid performance in defense. And it's something that we can take away as a positive heading into the international break and then coming back in after that. So now we will have international break going on, and then we do have, like in my laptop right now, we will do have midweek action. So we do have Wolves and West Ham ahead after the internationals, but so too does the start of the midweek action. We have Lusk, and then we have Leicester. Hopefully our team has a chance to rotate. Hopefully Jurgen Klopp rotates the team, doesn't just stick to one, with one lineup all the time, since we have a huge depth in our midfield department. Defense not so much, but then in the midfield we do have good options in the front attack as well. So hopefully, Jurgen Klopp does some rotation and try to keep the team fresh as we go during the international break and after that. So with that being said, let's jump into the player ratings as of now. I'll try to do a quick one. So let's jump from 1 to 10, 10 being the absolute best, 1 being the absolute worst. I will rate them from defense all the way up to attack and then include our substitutes. So the first rating I would give is for Alisson Becker. I would give him a 9. Certain goalkeepers, they would only make a bunch of saves, but then in this game it was a very solid display from Alisson. He made one point-blank save, and I think that was about it. We barely actually gave Aston Villa a chance to attack our penalty area or our goal. So that was a very, very solid team performance. But individually for Alisson, I would give him a 9 because I would give him an 8. So he was very, very good. Rarely had the ball in his legs because they barely passed back towards him. But when they did, he did hold on to the ball really well, passed it out from back to front really well. So with that being said, I would give Alisson an 8. And then I would jump into our captain trend for this game. I came as a captain, standing captain for today with the absence of Virgil van Dijk due to the suspension. Really did well, had a solid outing against Aston Villa. Defended pretty well on certain occasions. Needed help from some of the players while defending. But all in all, he did really, really well. His passing was really, really good. He did give some immaculate passing for Szoboszlai, for Luis Diaz, Darwin Núñez and Mo Salah as well. Nothing to doubt about that. His passing accuracy, his passing range is on a top level. So with that being said, I will give Trent an 8 as well. Really, really solid outing for our standing captain for today, our vice captain. So let's go down to Joel Matip and Joe Gomez. So for Joel Matip, I would say he was really fit coming into this game. He fitted in well, played really well, was solid at the back. And at certain points where he had to challenge Ollie Watkins, he really did well. Physically, he dealt with Ollie Watkins really well, together partnering up with Joe Gomez. So with the absence of Van Dijk, yes, everyone had their worries with Joe Gomez and Joel Matip. Would we ever put them in a centre-back partnership together, like the so-called Harry Maguire, Johnny Evans, where, they lost. So, with that being said, our standing centre-back, Joel Matip, he did really, really well. Despite the absence of Konate and Van Dijk, he did really well. He had an opportunity to score a goal, but then it didn't really happen. But it's okay. He had a solid outing and a clean sheet as well. For that, I would give Joel Matip a 7. But why 7, you guys would ask? Because he didn't do that misplaced pass to Alisson. So instead of an 8, I would give him a 7. But he did perform really well. So after that, I would go down to Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez did really well. And there was a certain... there was a part where he also wanted to push the ball up. He wanted to play forwards, passing and stuff like that. Didn't really pass the ball back to Alisson as well. So it was really good on his feet. A very solid outing for him as well. Yes, did have an hiccup when he wanted to control the ball when going one-on-one against Leon Bailey at the back. But other than that, I think, he did really well. Proving himself why he should remain in the squad and, being the backup centre-back and when Konate and Van Dijk are unavailable to feature for us. But he did really well, got the clean sheet for us as well. So solid outing for him. Definitely will see him in the starting lineup of our next game after the international break. So for that being said, I would give Joe Gomez a 7 as well. So moving down, we will go to Andy Robertson. So for Robertson, finally, a more comfortable performance from Andy Robo. It took some time to get himself into the game, more involved. Defensively, he was there, but attacking-wise, he didn't go up too much because partly to the fact that Trent is playing as an inverted right back. You have him as the extra midfield option. So Robertson preferred to stay back more rather than attack more. But I think in that sense, he did really, really well. A good performance from Robertson as well. Defensively, he was really, really good. Even after Unai Emery brought in Leon Bailey, I think pace and in the terms of pressure and in terms of physicality, I think he really, really did well. So with that being said, a solid outing for Robo, I would give him a 7. And then let's move down to our midfield three, which is Alexis McAllister. We will start him off with. So, not a full-on performance as what you would expect Alexis McAllister to have like Szoboszlai, but he did a lot of the little things very well, especially in terms of the passing, his passing range. Him having the ability to have more, to put in pressure, to bring in more forward passes towards our attacking third, and then he did really well. He did have good link-up play between himself, Trent and Salah, himself, Curtis Jones and Szoboszlai. So that was really, really good to watch. He was the deep-lying midfield playmaker. We would expect Hendo to play, but since Curtis Jones was on the side, he played the deep-lying midfield role, and he did a good job as well. So, he worked together with Trent really well, as Trent was playing as in the inverted position. So, really solid outing for him as well. Barely put a foot wrong in terms of his passing range, in terms of defensive ability as well. So, with that being said, I will give McAllister an 8. And then we will go down to Szoboszlai, our MOTM, our man of the match for this Aston Villa game. Got a belter, played really good on his, in the midfield position. At sometimes for a midfielder, all you would expect is like a tap-in or a simple goal. But for a player with the caliber of Szoboszlai, you would expect worldies, belters, thunderbusters. So, this was somewhere along that line. He scored a really good goal. What a rocket it was after coming in from the corner taken by Trent. He was constantly a threat for Aston Villa. He would, he played very well together with Mo Salah and Trent. Always, whenever Mo Salah wanted to go centrally and try to attack the Aston Villa centrally, he would be the one who is playing from the right-hand side, trying to come in, getting in crosses, trying to play 1v1, always having a really good trickery with the ball. His ball control is phenomenal. It's really, really good. And he was full of running. He was absolutely full of running. Defensively, he was always there. He always wanted to be the first person to make a tackle, try to get on the ball, try to try to retrieve possession whenever Liverpool lost it. So those are the kind of things, the techniques and the mentality that you would want from a number 8. And Szoboszlai absolutely kept it off with kept it all off with a fantastic goal and a fantastic outing for him. Come the international break, and hopefully his performance like this remains in the coming games. So for our man of the match, I would give him a 9. So what a fantastic performance from him. Then we would jump into Curtis Jones. So Curtis Jones, we thought he would be the number 6 who would play in the deep lying role, but then unfortunately, not to say unfortunately, but he would be the one playing in a more attacking role together with Dominic Szoboszlai. So there were certain instances that the passing wasn't really as crisp as you would expect, because for a player like Curtis Jones, he has a lot of flair in him. He has a lot of style. His ball control is really good, but then coming to the team right after an injury, yes, the crispness of the passing wasn't really there, but he did do a lot of running. He did a lot of hard work. Definitely pulled players out of position so that Luis Diaz would be free against Aston Villa defender, going one-on-one, trying to get Luis Diaz free, trying to assist, trying to support Robertson in defense. So those are the kind of really good qualities that we would want to see from a young player like Curtis Jones. And he did really well right up to the point he was substituted. So with that being said, for Curtis Jones, I would give him a 7. He had a solid outing as well. So now we will go into our front three, and we will start off with Mo Salah. So had a poacher's goal, got it from an assist from Darwin Nunez, who headed it from a corner. He was right on time to get it in to score our third goal. So he was also the one who was very, very involved in the first half as well. He had good link-up play and chemistry with Darwin Nunez, something that you would like to see in more games to come. We saw that a lot of it last season. So it's continuing. The chemistry is continuing down in this season as well. Very good to watch. Preferably, you would expect him to have a few shots here and there, try to dribble past defenders. But yes, they did. Look at Digne. He tried to hustle and harry. Mo Salah try to maximize the pressure on him. So I think with the whole chemistry with Nunez and Szoboszlai, I think lifted a little bit of the weight off his shoulders. You would expect Mo Salah to score multiple goals come before a few of these games that have already happened. So for him to get a goal in this game is really good as well. I think he also broke a record as well, but I'm not sure what record is it. But with that, the rating wise, I would give Mo Salah an 8, because he did really, really well. He did have a solid outing as well. So the last one we would go down in our starting lineup would be Luis Diaz. Started off really well. Had a, like I said earlier just now about Curtis Jones, freeing up Luis Diaz in order for him to play more centrally, to play against 1v1 against the Aston Villa defense. So that one he really did well. Technically was really good. Some of the passes that he made on the final third couldn't really reach Darwin Nunez or Mo Salah as well. Some of the shots were blocked, but then all in all, his efforts, you can't deny the effort of Luis Diaz. He is like an enigma. He's like a power player. So it will take time. It will take time, because he did have a very bad injury last season. He came on very late in the season as well. So hopefully the preseason and everything could get his engines going and all that. But all in all, it's a really solid display from him as well. So in that sense, I will give Luis Diaz an 8 as well. So let's go down to our next one, our striker at the top, the man of who scored the winning goal against Newcastle, Darwin Nunez. So for Darwin Nunez, a very exciting player. One you would expect to score a goal. Yes, he did hit the post. He did have an opportunity here and there to try to beat the keeper. He did hit the crossbar as well. I forgot to mention that as well. He hit the crossbar, he hit the post, the goal which hit the post, hit Matty Cash, gone in, own goal. But that's the entertainment factor that Darwin Nunez brings to the team. And I think in certain games, these a player like Darwin Núñez is what you need. And I think for team against a team like Aston Villa, I think Darwin Núñez excelled really well. Yes, Diego Carlos did get injured for Aston Villa at that point in time against Darwin Núñez. So I think in that sense, yes, you would say that, oh yes, it's because of that. But overall performance, you would look for Darwin Núñez. Yes, he couldn't get the goal as well. But then all his creative passing, his creative play together with Mo Salah and Szoboszlai as well, and with Trent as well, that went really well. So Trent was able to find was able to find Darwin Núñez multiple times. He would get a long pass in, and Darwin would actually run behind the defender and would try to get a shot on goal. So those are the kind of interesting things that we'd like to see from a player like Darwin Núñez. So more to come from him. Yes, he missed the sitter where he hit the post, and he also hit the crossbar as well. But it's okay. It's okay. All is good. That shows that his accuracy is there. There is an aim where he would get a shot on target and he wouldn't just blast it over the goal. So with that being said, it was a really good, solid performance from Darwin as well. So hopefully we would see him feature for our next game, I think against Spurs after the international break. So with that being said, I would give Darwin an 8 as well. So it was a really solid outing for him. Then we would go into our substitutes. We had Harvey Elliott, Diogo Jota, Cody Gakpo, and Jarrell Quansah, who made his Anfield debut, our academy player. So for all of them, I think I wouldn't, and also Endo as well, I would like to add, because Endo did come in, I think it was about the 85th, 86th minute, more of like the Milner role, so I'll get to that. Collectively, the whole substitution made a lot of sense. We were already 3-0 up. I didn't expect Aston Villa to make any attacking moves later on. After that, they did have a few moments where I think Duran had a few two opportunities to try to score a goal, but was a bit wide off the mark as well. But with that being said, all of our substitutions came at the right time. Klopp made the substitutions. He wanted to freshen up the team, give more, and try to get the rotation going. So it was really good to see. It was good to see Cody Gakpo and Jota come on and try to even pressurize the Aston Villa defense more, even though it's not necessary to do it. But they did it. They did it really well. Even for Harvey Elliott as well, trying to get certain passes going, trying to play in the attacking third, trying to get, but I think Aston Villa were they parked the bus at that point. 3 goals is done. We couldn't have enough. So for all that, and even Jarrell Quansah also seeing off the game as he makes his Anfield debut. So for all of them, I think I would collectively, even for Endo as well, he came in, he just did the more of like the Milner midfield role substitution, and he played his role really well. So nothing much to talk about. The substitutions, they were all done in terms of for rotation sake, trying to keep our starting lineup players fresh. All understandable for Jurgen Klopp's point of view. So for all of them, I think I will collectively give them a 7. So with that being said, we have already said the player ratings. I've given more the talking points about our victory against Aston Villa, and we have come to the final and to the end of our show. So thank you so much, all of you guys, for taking your time to watch my podcast show. So hopefully I'll be doing more of this, and see you guys soon in our next one after the international break. So hopefully we would go there really soon. So it's like a week of no football right now. So hopefully, or take care, you guys. See you guys soon. On to the next walk on 3 points against Aston Villa, and see you guys soon. Like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. So see you guys soon, and take care, guys.